Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with My Hero Academia Season 7 episode number 8 reaction. Okay, the previous episode Deku got transported into um, a different place while he was supposed to be transported to Shigaraki's battle. So Himiko got him and over there Himiko literally confessed to Deku and Deku was like, no, your like concept of love is very different from what I think it is and what other people think it is. And when he rejects Himiko, Himiko is like, yeah, I like you were the only hope I had, and now I can reject the world because the world never accepted me and my way of looking at things, so I can reject it. And but now Uraraka's actually, I guess, going to fight against Himiko, Uraraka and Suyu, and Uraraka's trying to talk to her, and because she thought about the whole situation and she has a few things to tell Himiko, but Himiko's not ready to listen now. Either way, while all of that is happening, Shigaraki is going crazy and they are keeping Shigaraki busy, and Deku is now going towards Shigaraki's place. He cannot use warp because Monoma is using his ability to erase Shigaraki's ability, so they cannot use warp now. So Deku has to go on his own, and he's on the way to do that. While all of this is happening, we also encounter Dabi, and I think Dabi is going to tell his story now, or something like that. Like maybe like some kind of a flashback is going to happen because he's going to explain how he became like this. You know. But anyways, let us get started. Episode number 8. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is the preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. What? Oh, is this that guy? The researcher guy. I forgot his name. Yeah. Walk seeds. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, here we go. Right. Hmm. Oh boy. Yeah. Damn. Oh, oh, wait, he fell in the water. So did that douse the flames? No. Oh God. Oh no. Well, there he is. That's all for one, isn't it? Two flash fires. What the? Sleepy. What is this place? What? What? 3 years? Oh, that's why his voice changed. Wait a minute. Oh wait, so that was that not all for one? Who was that? Oh no, it is. Okay. Great. Well, hmm. Sense of pain has been dulled. Hmm. So they were obviously planning from the very beginning in recruiting him. But then this happened, and but Alpha One is like, yeah, there we go, brainwashing family. Wait, so this is like some kind of a villain school or something? R- right. Interesting. So they decided to use that obsession for their, yeah. Right. Interesting. So yeah, so they basically like he was that person that we kept in case Shigaraki failed and nobody can control him. It's supposed to last more than a month after he woke up. Interesting. Yeah. You want home ones. So he went back. Okay. Oh, and he saw this. Damn. Oh my god. This is just. Well. Damn. Yeah. Like self destruction. Damn. Yeah, so even All for One was like, yeah, this dude is a bit too much. So let's just do whatever he wants. Like, let him do whatever he wants to. Like, he is the personification of. He's like the, he encompasses destruction. Let's just let him do what he wants because it'll help us out in the end. Flashfire Fist. Monster. Hmm. Why? What did he do? Oh God. Yo, yeah, this is. I feel like, yeah, Todoroki can only counter this because of his eyes. Oh God. Oh God. Ah. Congeal broth and calamity. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's melting. Oh. Yeah, he's just, bro. It's ironic how he talked about his dad, like, and now he's talking literally like his dad to Shoto. Like, he literally became the person that he hated. Yeah, his eyes. Flash fire. Oh, he's going to use eyes as well, along with it. So he himself was like, yeah, I want to fight with Davi. Yep, I think I literally said that. I was like, Endeavor's the only one who can fight with All for One. So he has to be there. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Right. He's continuously using it. What? Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, wait. So I I guess it makes sense. Fire and ice. So that's why it does isn't hot. Equilibrium to both sides. Cold flames. Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Yep. All right, here we go. Phosphor. Yeah. Like whatever. Whoa, what? Oh, but he is not used to. The parallel tracks. Oh, they took it for him. Hmm. Yep. Release. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, it's not affecting him. His cold flame is just. Oh, oh, he got him. Glacial Aegir. Right. Well, he cooled him down completely. Oh, damn. You see the place that was burning? It just got completely. Yeah, that's how much intense. Oh, that ended abruptly. So we don't know if that was it for Dabi, or like, is that the end? Like he died, or like, I doubt he died. I'm guessing he's unconscious or something maybe, or I don't know. You know what? Let's wait for next episode. Probably we'll see what happened. Hmm. Okay, that is it. So that was today's episode. So today's episode was focused on Darby, and we got to know a little bit of Darby's past. Like we already knew Darby's past, obviously, in the previous season, I think. But this time we got to know more of what happened after he was found by All for One, or he like All for One took him in. Um, and then we get to the fight. So the very interesting thing about Darby is like, which is something that we've always heard from the villains before, but today they properly showed us like the meaning of what they meant by saying that Darby is someone that cannot be controlled. They properly like show why they say that, because as we can see, Darby never really got like, just like how the other villains, they like are actually, they decided to go for like adopt All for One's and the villains goals as their own, and decided to go in that direction. Obviously each had their own troubles, but at the end of the day each of them were like, yeah, we will destroy this hero world, and we will end this hero society. That is what every single villain had, like completely ingrained in their brain, and that's how they work. Davies was different. He never, like, they were never able to put that in his head, because his obsession of about his dad, and like the his like showing his dad like the result, and little by little, that, oh, I'm going to show my dad like the result of my thing, it started getting warped more and more into a more like negative feeling. And at the end of it, now he's completely like, I'm going to like show my dad how strong and I am, by completely destroying myself and destroying him as well. Like it completely warped his feelings, like from a, like like from a very small thing to, it became something monstrous like this. However, that obsession was always strong, and even after All for One took him in, his obsession never went away, and it stayed, and nobody could make him work for them. That is why you can see they left him alone. So basically they left him alone. They were like, yeah, you know what, let him do what he wants. Obviously at the end of his goal, it is destruction. So at the end of the day, it'll help us out either way, because our main goal is destruction as well. It doesn't matter if he's not working for our cause. The fact that he is like hell-bent on destroying Endeavor, and like and destroying like everything, is going to indirectly help us out. So let's just let him do whatever he wants to. And there's another interesting thing that they kind of said here, All for One said here, which is he was an insurance or something like that. He said like he was an insurance just in case Shigaraki failed. Like he would be that demon that destroys the world. You know. So in case Shigaraki failed, they would just let him lose and make him destroy the world completely. Something like that. And they kind of said, I think like All for One kind of said that this was like a, like there was, he called him a spare, and he also said there were a lot of other spares for Shigaraki as well. So all those kids that we saw in that place, I'm guessing they were all over there as spares. All for One took them in case like Shigaraki fails, and he would probably have used them to do something, I'm guessing. Either way, so all of them were like spares, and he was the one who survived. And his like obsession for Endeavor was the one thing that made him like survive at all odds, and he ended up surviving up until the end. And they realized that, yeah, this guy, he's the one. If Shigaraki fails and everything fails, we'll just let him go, and he can destroy the world. That kind of thing. And I think they even mentioned in today's episode as to how they actually had no hope for Darby. Like when Darby ran away, I think, who was it? Like, was it this guy, the researcher guy? He said something like, "We thought that would be the end of him. He would die. We had no hope for him." But then he came back, and that is when he became part of the group. and they decided to use him like this because all that he wants is to fight like Endeavor, and he knows that if he sticks with the League of Villains, like who always fight heroes, it would be the perfect opportunity to meet Endeavor and fight him. So that's why he decided to stick around, I'm guessing. Yeah, and all that stuff. Another thing you can see, like this guy who was moving around outside the prison cell, he said something like, wait, so you're saying that this was all of these were like part of All for One's plans, which is also another thing we have been seeing up until now. A lot of these things that are going on were predetermined, planned by All for One. And another one of these plans was like how he took in people, or he took in kids and used them as like and decided to like I don't know, like make them grow up as Shigaraki's pair in case Shigaraki fails, and he'd be using them. That was also part of his whole plan or whatever. So like All for One orchestrated this whole thing from the very beginning, like getting in, this was like all pre-planned in his head. So he was like, okay, I got Shigaraki, I'm going to use him as the main trump card, and then there's all the other League of Villains. They will all be like spares. In case Shigaraki is not able to do something, they can help him out. And Dabi will be that one anomaly who obviously won't really work for our cause, but if everything fails, he can just destroy everything. Then we'll let him go. He can feel free to destroy the world then if everything fails. So something like that, I'm guessing. It's just Another thing we saw here, he went back. Toya went back after 3 years. You saw like he came back to this house to see what is going on, if something changed or not. I'm guessing if he saw that maybe Endeavor is sad, or maybe Endeavor is regretting his actions, if Endeavor is sorry about what he did, all that stuff, or they remembered him, this wouldn't have happened. He probably would have come back, he probably would have gone back and stayed with them, and he called them out and be like, I'm back, But he went back and he saw the same scene. This time it was Todoroki. And he was like, it's still the same. First of all, they forgot about me, and now they are Endeavor. Now he's just doing the same thing that he did to me to Todoroki, so nothing has changed. And that's why he then that is what made him turn into Dabi. So all of this could have been prevented if Endeavor, I don't know. Yeah, if Endeavor became a better person a little bit earlier. He became a better person, or at least he's trying to be a better person, but it's too goddamn late for because if he had done this immediately after Toya, he lost Toya, if he changed as a person, then all of this wouldn't have happened. Toya would have come back. I'm pretty sure that's what would have happened. But we all know what happened. After losing Toya, he turned his gaze on Todoroki. And then this happened, this whole nonsense, like him being like, Shoto, you have to defeat All Might. That is why you are here, this and that. The whole thing that happened in season 1, season 2 as well. Season 3 as well, as far as I can remember. I don't remember. But his whole thing that went on. It's very recently he realized it his mistake and decided to atone. But it's too goddamn late for Dabi, at least. If he did this a little bit earlier, maybe all of this could have been prevented. But that's the thing. Yeah, it's just crazy to think about how one person being a complete like Endeavor, how one person being like him, how Endeavor was, made so much problems. Like, it's just absolutely baffling to think about. Like, his behavior, like the way he treated everyone and like the way he was, that's like one of the main causes of so many things. You know, it's just absolutely baffling to think about. Good God. But yeah. Anyways, that was the whole first section. And then the later section, we get to see Todoroki use his new technique, like where ice and fire at the same time. There's like a cold flame, and he uses that to defeat Dabi. And yeah, that is where it ended. So let's see what happened. We still don't know what happened to Dabi. Like, they just showed him getting defeated, and that's it. We don't know if he's like. I'm sure he's alive. I doubt Todoroki would kill him. I'm sure like he probably like used enough force and enough of his power to knock him out, just barely. Who knows? Because I don't see him dying. I don't see Dabi dying. Or even if he dies, it's not going to be like this. You know, like I don't see Todoroki killing him. In no way is that happening. So I think he's probably alive, but he's probably knocked out or something. I don't know. So let's wait and see. Okay, and there you go. That was today's episode. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we get to see that guy. I forgot his name. Like I said, that researcher guy. He's in his cell, and he's talking about Dabi here, and this is where he explains like what Dabi was actually supposed to be. Warped seeds worthy of being vessels. Like, yeah. So they were all like, just in case Shigaraki lost or Shigaraki failed, Dabi and others like him were there as just in case scenarios, so that they can just completely destroy the world. Either way, then we get to see Todoroki fighting against Dabi, and we get to see like what happened on that day in that forest. So he started burning, he combusted, and he fell into the water. Now here's the thing. So I guess the water like took out the flames, I'm guessing. Yeah, because we see like like he falls in the water, and then you can see he like comes out of the water like like all like, and he was like burnt and everything. So yeah, the flames went down, the flames went out, and then you can see All For One just standing there. And after that, you can see Dabi wakes up in this institution, and it looks like an orphanage or something, like a daycare center, it looks like. And he's like, oh my god, my voice and everything. And then we realize that it's because it's been 3 years. So he has been here for 3 years, probably in a coma or something like that. And he wakes up, and I'm like, wait, this is like, wasn't it all for one who took him in? At first I was confused, and then when he starts talking later on from that television, I'm like, oh yeah, it is All For One who did this. And then there's this guy, this sunflower guy, So I am assuming this daycare center, orphanage, whatever this place is, it's supposed to be an institution where All For One brings in people like Dabi as like spare vessels, as they said, like warped seeds worthy of basically like people, like kids who can be used in case Shigaraki fails, like that, I'm guessing. And Dabi was one of them. That's why he brought him in. And yeah, I think he kind of says here that we were a bit too late. Like, I'm guessing they would have recruited him normally, but they waited a bit. They waited a bit too late. That is why the whole situation went like this. And as all for one says that because of your situation, we will not be recruiting you. I think something like that he said. You know what? Here we go. Your burned up body was extremely hard to repair. Missing parts were filled with regenerative tissues, as we can see. The face makes you look like someone different, but even so, you survived. Okay, so here we go. You cannot use your power like you did before. There was damage to your organs. Your senses, including a sense of pain, has been dulled. Body is weakened. Never go back to the way how it was before. There we go. We would have liked to receive you in full health too. Did our best, but unfortunately we failed. Yeah, so and that word failed or failure triggers him completely, because that's literally, what he has been hearing up until now. Yeah, and now you can see All For One starts his brainwashing again. He's like, oh, but we might be able to make your flames go back to normal. He's like, oh, like join us, and like, how about it? Join and be a family. And you can see this is what Darby's like, no, I don't care. Like the only person I care about is my father, and proving to him that I'm good enough. And this is where All For One says that we realized that he's not his obsession is too much. He'll never he'll never be one of us. Here we go. That is why he became the just in case scenario. In case anything happened to Tomura Shigaraki, we prepared a seedbed of fierce hatred. There you go. Vessels for the Demon Lord. W was one of those pairs. There you go. And he was a failure. Yeah, but in the end, like as you can see, they were able to manipulate that obsession in itself to work for them, because like they were like, I'm pretty sure in the end they were like, you know what? Yeah, he won't really join our cause, but our cause is to defeat the heroes. His obsession is defeating Endeavor, so it matches. Let him do what he wants to, and like the flame that he uses to destroy Endeavor, the flame, the residual flames will do its work and burn on its own and destroy everything beside Endeavor as well. We can manipulate that situation very nicely. So that's what they did. So they literally decided not to really tell him to join their cause, but they were like, do whatever you want. You want to fight your dad? Come, come be with us. We fight heroes every single day, so you'll definitely get your chance to fight your dad. And then Dabi also probably thought that, yeah, that's the best way, like be in an organization, and when I find my Endeavor, I can fight him. So I'm guessing, like as you can see, at first he ran away, and I'm guessing this is where he tells later on that he went back home. This is where he probably went back home. He runs away from there, and All For One was like, yeah, let him go. He's a failure. Let him go. And then fast forward, he came back. As you can see, we left him alone. Why? Because Dabi's body was not supposed to last more than a month. Then he woke up, and that's also another reason why they were like, yeah, let him go. However, that is why when Dabi came back, I was surprised when the broker brought him to us. Yeah. Why did he come back? How was he still alive? I wanted to hear Dabi's real motives, so I arranged for us to be alone together. And this is where Dabi says that it was you, wasn't it, Ujiko? You kept me alive. And he's like, oh yeah, like I'm glad that you realized. How have you been staying alone since then? At which he says, watching the living corpse gave me an idea of what you guys wanted with me. Yeah, like Dabi also realized that they're basically using me, but I don't care. All I care about is fighting Endeavor. If they want to use me, and if I get an opportunity for fighting an Endeavor, yeah, they might as well use me. I don't care. Like they can use me as a corpse, they can use me as a seedbed of hatred. I literally don't care. All that I care is fighting Endeavor, and if that happens, I'm happy with that. And he says like, I came back because this is the perfect place for a funeral. And he's like, yeah, this is the perfect the place to use my, like, you guys are going to be helping me out finding Endeavor, so might as well come here. Yeah. And yeah, so he's basically like he's just like self-destructive. Like he wants to destroy everything, destroy Endeavor alongside himself. That is what he is. And that is where after that we get to see like Toya went back home. So that's what happened. He ran away from that institute. They let him go because they were like, yeah, he was only going to live for 1 month. Let him go. He came back to the house, saw the situation with Endeavor, and he was like, oh, it's the same old story, and he went back. And then he became Dabi and went back to the villains, League of Villains. And that's what happened, waiting for his time to fight Endeavor. And you can also see he also studied from the internet how to fight, not how to fight, but like Endeavor's move, each and everything he kind of studied. And yeah, that. Okay, now after that you can see like a little bit of Endeavor. We also see in today's episode where Endeavor was like, it was my responsibility, so I should have gone and fought Dabi. At which like they were like, no, you need to go and fight All For One, because you're the number one hero now. You have to fight All For One. You cannot go to Dabi. So that is where Todoroki was, let me do this. At which Endeavor was like, I'm like, this is my doing, my undoing. I'm letting, like, I did something wrong and this is the result. And now I'm letting the cleanup to you. I feel bad. At which Todoroki was like, we've said this before. This is our job, not only your job. Like it's our responsibility as well. So let me do it. And to be honest, I feel like Todoroki was like the perfect person to fight Dabi because of his ice power. So yeah, it was a good decision by the end of it. But at the same time, like obviously, like Endeavor being a father and being the reason why this happened, he must feel extremely bad letting his another child fight his other child just because of his wrongdoings, and as like and the result that has happened because of all the wrong things that he have done. Okay, so yeah, that's like basically the whole story of Dabi. And you can see Dabi's like, I'm going to burn everything. And you can see the whole All Might statue is melting and everything. And everyone's like, God damn this heat. And he comes in and hits Todoroki. Todoroki gets blasted into one of the buildings. And and here's another thing that he kind of says. He's like Shoto, like, I have problem with you as well. Like, what were you doing? Like, you were just lazing around, becoming part of that hero group, playing like superhero games every single day, wasting your time away, just like not using your ability and not making proper use of it. Now this kind of is a very interesting thing that he says here. He kind of admonishes Shoto for not making use of his gifts, and it's like I said, it's very ironic. And he calls him like, you what does he call him, you failure or something? No, where's that part? Yeah, even though you're born with everything, you didn't try to be your full potential. If no one says I will, you're an aimless half-baked doll. You won't amount to nothing. So there you go. So this whole line, like I said, he admonishes him for not using his full potential or making use of his full gifted powers, his gifts, his genetical gifts that he got. He can use both ice and flame, and he admonishes him for not using that and not doing anything proper and just playing around, playing hero. And he says like, if nobody's I'm going to tell you, you are useless, you won't amount to anything. So this is what I was saying. It's very ironic to see him using the same thing that the same words that Endeavor uses against his kids. If you remember, this is literally what Endeavor also said. You guys are worthless. You cannot, unless and until you can catch up to All Might, you guys are worthless. That whole thing. The same thing he had to hear from Endeavor, and he's literally using the same words to him. So he literally became the person that he hated. He hated his father for treating him like that, and he's literally saying the same thing. However, there is another thing we have to think about, which is, yeah, he might be saying the same words as Endeavor used to say, but at the same time, he hates the fact that Shoto had everything that he had. Had everything that he wanted, but he never properly, basically it's like jealousy or like helplessness of a person who gives his all, and he realizes there's someone else like him and he has the proper gifts to become what he could never become, but he's never using that gift. Is the jealousy, frustration of someone like that. Like, it's a scenario like this. Just imagine, like a, like maybe I don't know, like someone who does like the sports or something, like running, like a track runner, marathon runner, maybe. There's two. Let's just think about this: two marathon runners. One of them is extremely hardworking. He doesn't have any genetical, like gifts or anything that he has been born with. But he gives his all, gives his 100%. And then there's this another dude who's gifted as from his birth. But he never uses that and just lazes around. So the amount of frustration, the person who works hard, looking at him, seeing that, and realizing that he has something that, like I don't have, and he's not making use of that. Why couldn't it be me who has that gift instead of him? Like this type of a complicated feeling. But obviously, it's kind of wrong to say this here, because obviously Todoroki was trying his best as well. He had his own troubles to to tackle, and he had his own complexes and his own stuff to battle in his head. So that is why he wasn't able to do much with his power. It was only broken when Midoriya came in second season and told him that this is your power, this is not your father's power. So the fact that you do not use a flame, like you need to conquer that, because this isn't your dad's power, this is your power, you're the one who is using it, which broke that thing in his head, his reluctance to use his flame power. And from that point onwards he was able to change. But up until that, in Dabi's eyes, he was like, this guy has everything that I wanted and he's not using that. But like I said, it's like, this situation is a bit different. It's not that it wasn't that Todoroki was lazing around or anything. He had his own problems to deal with, and it wasn't that he was deliberately not using his flame powers. He had his issues with it. Only when Midoriya came in and said that is where he was able to little by little go against the issues and conquer it. So yeah, the situation is like that. That is why it's not the same situation. But either way, it's pretty understandable to it's understandable to see Toya's or Dabi's his what's that word? His complaints about this whole situation, and his what he said, that you never used your power properly. It's understandable. It's understandable why he's so frustrated and why he said that. But yeah. Anyways, enough of that. Either way. So after that, Todoroki's uses his new power that he was practicing. So basically, as he said, it's a move. It's perfect to particularly to stop you. And you can see in the flashbacks, Todoroki showed Deku his new his new flash fist. I think that's what he calls it. Yeah. And he shows that it's like ice and flame, and it's since it's kind of harmonizing with each other, it's not really hot if you put your hand on it. It's a bit different from Flash Fire Fist, and he says, okay, it's not even hot if you touch here. It's hard to maintain though. It goes away pretty far. Okay, so as he explains, I took the essence of Flash Fire and manifest my right and left sides at the same time with my heart at the center. Yeah, there you go. The hot and the cold blood circulate through my body, bring equilibrium to both sides. Yeah, hot and cold mixed together, cold flames. So it's a bit interesting. Like I don't know how to properly make sense of it. Like cold flames, it's an interesting concept, you know. But it makes I can understand what he's basically doing. So you know, but like the I don't know, like the scientific aspects of it, I cannot really understand. But you know, as he says, it's like circulating both hot and cold, and it come to an equilibrium. That is why it seems like it's flames, but at the same time, it's not hot; it's cold. So it's cold flames. You know, like I said, I don't, you know, like I don't even know if something like this exists. Maybe it exists. I'm not really sure. You know, like in reality, but he basically uses something like this, and he's like, this is perfect for Dabi, and then he also tells the Deku that, you know, like as you said, Midoriya, this is my power. You know, I was finally able to make this my power. And then he fights against Dabi. Dabi attacks him. He also goes and hits him with it, and you know. Now here's another thing. One thing that Todoroki says here is very, I guess you could say, I agree with it 100%. As he says, like, I can understand your frustrations, I can understand your whole thing, but why do you kill people? Why are you dragging in other people who has nothing to do with this into your grudge, into your vengeance? You know, this is our familial problem. You know, if you have some problem with us, if you want to butt heads with someone, butt heads with us. You involving other normal innocent people who has nothing to do with our or Endeavor's situation or our situation, you dragging them into this in itself was the sin that you committed. You know, and I'm not going to forgive you for it. You're a criminal. You know, you're a villain. That is why you're a villain. You know, and which is 100% true. You know, like if he actually didn't attack innocent people and just came and beat up, like, you know, Endeavor, or like, you know, something like that, did something like that, it would have been fine. You know, it would have been fine. But as soon as he decided to involve innocent people who has nothing to do with this situation into his, like, you know, like into his thing, that is when he became a criminal, a villain. You know, and that is why he's not a boy who is in an unfortunate situation trying to take revenge. He's a boy in an unfortunate situation who dragged other people into his situation, destroying their lives. He's a villain. That is why, you know. So having a sad backstory and all that doesn't forgive you for what you have done. You know, basically that's what he's saying. Like, you know, he's like, I accept that you have your problems. You know, however, as soon as you involve other people into your mess, yeah, you became a criminal. You became a villain, and as a hero, I have to stop you. Which I also 100% agree with. Yeah, you know, like he can have the most saddest and most, like, you know, like saddest backstory ever. You know, any character can have like a very sad backstory or whatever, but if you decide to involve people who has nothing to do with your situation into your, like, you know, into your vengeance or whatever, that is where, you know, it's not okay. You have to draw a line somewhere, you know. And yeah, that kind of thing. Like, yeah, like Endeavor obviously did a lot of bad things and a lot of, you know, like messed up stuff, you know, but that doesn't give you the right to mess up other people's life, people who has nothing to do with it. Right, and yeah, and in the end, you know, like Dabi was still going to attack him, but here I think like all like these guys, you know, with Todoroki, they took the blow for him, and Todoroki uses that opportunity to bring back out his flash, you know, like fire, like that modification, and uses that and attacks Dabi, hits him, and freezes the whole place. And that's where it ended. We don't know what exactly happened. Is Dabi unconscious? What's going on? Next episode will probably tell us. But that was today's episode. So that was episode number 8 of My Hero Academia Season 7. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of My Hero Academia. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.